My name is Tyler Walter. I'm a fourth year graduate student in chemistry. My area of focus for my PhD is going to be bioorganic chemistry. So long story short, you're taking an enzyme and its substrate and seeing the roles that they play to each other. And I am a SROP mentor. There's a lot of different programs where you can be a summer intern. This one, obviously you have the ability to be of any walk of life and be able to have an internship available to you. The other good thing about SROP is it's just like the other ones in the fact that you have to show up and do work. Like, this isn't going to be handed to you. This is going to be something where you really have to put in work, and at the end of the day, if you did what you need to do, you look great. What the mentor has to do is he has to describe every single little intricacy of that problem that you have to solve. Because there's a lot of times where an undergraduate's going to come into that lab and know absolutely nothing about what you're doing. So what you really have to do is lay down every single thing that you want him to try to do, him or her to try to do. And over the course of the first 2 weeks, you're basically just getting all of the introduction to them. You want to see that they know how to handle themselves in the lab and know how to handle the laboratory procedures. After you get through about week 2 or 3, you want them to almost kind of take on their own role in the lab. You don't want to be watching them constantly, because I know I hate to be watched by my boss. So I always love it when they take on their own role and just go on and do what they need to do. I usually encourage them to just write out lists of what they want to accomplish at the end of that 10-week or 9-week, whatever it is. And at the end of that, we kind of meet up right before they give that poster. And instead of grilling them questions and talking about what they didn't do, it's almost like a celebration of, you did all of this, where on day 1, you knew nothing. So don't take this lightly. This is something that you are doing to not only make your resume look sparkling, but you're doing this because you actually care. You can tell very, very easily when you get to presentations and posters who didn't care and who actually just wanted something fancy on the resume versus, I actually care about what I'm doing. So I was a SROP mentor for a student named Zana King. She actually came from CUNY, so it's the College University of New York, and she came 2 summers ago. And so at the end of the summer, we had basically 15 out of 16 experiments done that were needed for a publication in an ACS journal. So that was kind of my proudest moment, of seeing her start out from basically knowing very, very little about what she was doing to being able to stand in front of people and give a graduate school level presentation. Personally, my research goals are interested in a type of enzyme that is really, really simple. You take an alpha amino acid to a beta amino acid. It's literally just switching the place of a nitrogen. Chemically, that's extremely challenging. And the enzymes that we work on in this lab, for the most part, do it extremely well, extremely fast, and very, very selectively. So my first goal is to find new versions of these enzymes and study every single little intricate detail about them in order to use them to do jobs that they wouldn't traditionally do, which kind of goes back to where my area of interest is, in the fact that I'm not only studying how an enzyme interacts with its substrate, but I'm using that substrate to change what that enzyme's actual job is. So kind of going back to the fact that I'm changing an enzyme's job, the other area that these enzymes are involved in are in the production of anti-cancer, anti-tumor, antibacterials, anti-insert word here, basically. So right now what my project is focusing on is the production of phenylserines. You can find phenylserines in literal millions of biologically active compounds. So if you find a way to make those enzymatically, where you're not using costly reagents, you're not using tons of harmful chemicals, you're using something called green chemistry, it's a new way to make things that are going to help the world.